So, we are back for the last topic for this episode of the Deep Dive, and that topic is bottled water should be banned. What do you think?
Wow. I'm a connoisseur. You see,
of bottled water?
Yes.
How interesting.
Oh man, so for me,
Here we have, ladies and gentlemen, the bottled water connoisseur.
and I mean, like, I'm a highfalutin connoisseur. I drink Fiji water.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And where's that from? So I'm sure you can tell me all about it. Where exactly is it from?
I believe it's from Fiji. I don't know, or so I tell
Okay.
myself
Is
it's
that,
from Fiji.
Is that the volcanic water or volcanic spring water?
I'm not sure.
Like
I just tell myself it's from Fiji because the bottle says Fiji on
Gotcha.
it.
Okay, no problem.
So
No-
I am
no
a
biggie.
highfalutin connoisseur of bottled water. So if it
Gotcha.
was going to be banned, I'd be devastated.
Okay.
And apparently the bottles are recyclable, so I'm not sure what the problem is.
You know what? I think so. If I may, I don't know, but I think what this topic is getting at is that bottled water, in some way, is a environmental issue because many people characterize plastic as the devil, which I think is, like many things, when people are passionate about them, a dramatic oversimplification.
Is it because it doesn't break down? Is that why?
Well, I think that also depends on what type of plastic. I will not
Okay.
pretend I know about plastics, right? I won't, but I'm thinking that's where this probably comes from.
Okay.
And as a result, they would say, well, you get water from your tap. You can buy a reusable water bottle. And so maybe pre-bottled water, for instance, should be banned because of environmental concerns. So I think that's what they're getting at, or what someone might be getting at with a comment like that.
Okay.
So does that change anything for you, or?
Okay, so as long as someone is, and I know I only speak for myself. When I drink bottled water, I put it in the recycling bin.
Mm-hmm. I
I have heard before that recycling bins sometimes kind of get a little mixed up with other bins, but I attempt to recycle my bottles. So I've tried, and this is the reason why I've gone back to bottled water. So obviously back in the day when bottled water was very fancy and we lived in like almost like some Ontario housing, we obviously had tap water. And tap water, I love how cloudy it is, especially out in Toronto. So I would drink obviously what was in the house, which was like tap water, fine. And bottled water was like some luxury. Then we went to like the Brita filters, and that could also become expensive as well because the replacement filters cost money. Sometimes you have to make sure you wipe out the bottle, so you have to wash this container. Sometimes if the thing is corroding, then there's sediments that come in, so now you have like these black things at the bottom, and that became a lot of work. So all you're doing is like taking now your water, you're filtering it, you're putting it in the fridge, and you're gonna use that in your filter. And so you still have tap water, but then same thing with this is probably water from some lake that's being filtered and put into bottles. Which is really different than what comes out of the tap, because I've done an episode actually on the water treatment facility down in Burlington, where I actually watched the process of water from Lake Ontario being filtered. Oh, it's really wild.
It's incredible.
Oh my gosh! Again, my hat blew off.
Yeah, if people haven't seen how like water treatment works, it's fascinating.
If they give you a tour, take the tour. Or my episode still exists of the water treatment plant. It was amazing. But I think for myself personally, I actually have now seen this tour. I can see why like nothing is wrong with tap water at all. I use it to cook with. Obviously, I use it. I don't pour like my bottled water into my kettle. I'm boiling tap water. But if I have in my car, there's a bottle of water, and not a reusable one. It's just like a bottle of water. I drink it, and it goes recycling. So, I think I like. It's on the go, very easy to grab and go, as opposed to convenient. Thank you. I was like, what is the word I'm looking for? English much? So it's convenient. So you're, oh man, I'm thirsty. What I want. Let me go drink out of this sink in this bathroom because I don't want to go buy bottled water from the convenience store. So it's also like, where am I located? What water am I drinking? Man, I can't do communal fountains. Used to do them when we were in elementary school until they kept getting closed for things like meningitis or staphylococcus or something.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, because obviously you're using a communal fountain, and if someone had like meningitis, like it's saliva driven, so they would close down the fountains. And I've seen in my work location, we have a public fountain, and I've watched people maybe do more than just drink water out of the fountain. So I'm like, okay,
interesting.
Don't think I'd be drinking out of that fountain anytime soon. So I just feel, for me, like I feel safer, if that makes any sense, because it's a bottle that I've opened, and like for me, less contamination in my head, as opposed to I'm gonna go to this water fountain that I don't know what someone was doing before I got here, or I'm gonna drink out of this tap from this bathroom. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, so if I'm characterizing it properly, right? And so tell me if I am, because then I'll chime in a little bit. Which is, I think that what you're saying is, there is nothing fundamentally wrong with it. It's convenient. It's a product that's available like any other product. You can see why there might be a concern associated with it that people may claim, because plastics are the devil to some people, and they would. And I'm not saying that to be inflammatory. I'm saying that some people characterize it literally that way. It's that dangerous, right? And as a result, if recycling programs worked the way they were supposed to, as they allege to, then what's the problem?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I think that's fair enough, right?
For sure. Yeah. Like systemically, I have no control over what happens with my recycling.
Yeah.
Okay, but I believe that it's going to be recycled for use later on.
Yeah.
As opposed to that's being dumped in the ocean. Like I don't think I'd be all like, Fiji water, like toss it off this ship. I wouldn't feel good about that. I'm putting it in some sort of a proper receptacle for the potential of breakdown and use at a further date. That is what I'm doing with this bottled water. And again, it's easy and it's convenient. I mean, I know that we're so quick to be, it's so convenient, let me do it this way.
Yeah.
As opposed to, let me go buy this Brita filter, then I got to put water, it's got to stay in the fridge for so long, it's got to seep through, then I got to pour it into something else, and I got to take that and put that in my purse. Like, it's just so much.
No, totally. Yeah. So, I mean, people probably could tell this about me already, right? But I think that societies, if I could be so bold, that's a very amorphous term, society, right? It's usually, falling back on people trying to explain something that doesn't make a lot of sense, right? They blame society or say society's responsible for something without pointing specifically to
but they're part of the same society, so I'm very perplexed.
Yeah, it's very weird, right? It's like the word that's used to scapegoat everyone for being bad at something. And so, I would say that, generally speaking, I don't like to, socially speaking, economically speaking, democratically speaking, I don't think banning things is the solution to most things, right? Some things could be made illegal and some things could be regulated, which obviously we do all the time, right? In many countries, especially in Canada. But I think that things like a consumer product, unless it's for some safety reason built into it, like, it causes harm or illness or
like some children's
that.
toys where it's like choking hazard.
Totally, right? Then generally I'm not a big fan of banning consumer products. I think that a better way of going about it is going to be one of two things. You can vote with your wallet, which is how things are supposed to work in a market system, right? Which is if you don't like it, then you can not pay for it.
Exactly.
But every time you pay for it, realize you are voting on that product remaining in the market, right? So if you don't like the cost of something, then don't buy it. It will drop in price. If you don't want a product to exist anymore, then don't buy it, right? So I'm a bigger fan with that, and then as a result, the market will respond. If there wasn't a market for bottled water, then people wouldn't buy them, and then therefore they wouldn't be a consumer product on the shelf. That's everywhere pretty much, right? But as a result, what's clearly happening here is people like them, there's a market for them, and the arguments being given to have people stop buying them are clearly not persuasive, right? And so that's what I usually think is more important, right? From a social interaction point of view, from a democratic point of view, from a philosophical point of view, is you need to persuade people with your arguments. And if your arguments do not persuade them, that does not make them guilty of the sin of buying a water bottle, right? That makes you poor at effectively conveying or articulating your argument, or maybe your argument's not very persuasive to begin with, right? And I'm not here to say whether or not people's arguments about bottled water are persuasive. I'm simply saying that it's very common, from my experience, that people hold a very specific view, especially when you feel very strongly about something like environmentalism. And some arguments for certain changes with respect to the environment are cogent. They're persuasive. Some are not. And like everything, there's a balance. Is your argument good? It might be. But is it good enough to have people stop buying plastic water bottles? It may not be.
I haven't heard one that would convince me at my age so far to say I need to stop.
Yeah, and I actually generally, I know this is going to, maybe not so well with people, but I actually do believe in people. I've met a lot of people, and people are smarter than most people give people credit.
Of course.
They're more honest, they're more decent, and they're kinder than most people give people credit. In fact, my view of people who like to characterize the public or others as inherently stupid or, more prejudicial than they are and, good for nothing is you haven't met enough people. Is because people aren't like that. Mm-hmm. People are good. And you can persuade them to do the right thing if you are persuasive.
If your argument is making sense.
Exactly. People are reasonable, right?
Reasonable, rational, we're adults.
Exactly, right? And so it's my opinion that actually I don't buy bottled water, to be honest, but I don't think it should be banned. And if it's not banned, or it's because you have not persuaded enough people to stop buying it or convinced whoever produces it that its harm is so, obvious that it needs to be removed from the market. And so I think that if your arguments were good, you would have persuaded decent, honest, hardworking people that comprise our society and most societies across the globe to have gotten rid of it. And so I don't know what the arguments are, but I'd like to hear them, and then maybe I could get behind banning them. But up until this point, I'm not convinced.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced.
So I'm agreeing with you for sure. I don't think the word banned is a good idea. There, it's up to the person to make a decision on whether or not they're going to buy it, because again, maybe they also have not heard these arguments where we're for or against. But banning something like a consumer product, I don't think would be the solution, especially something like this.
Yeah, I mean, and I like to be told things. I like to find out how I'm wrong all the time. So if I'm walking down the street and someone's like, "You don't understand the plight of whatever bottled waters, animals, something," I'll be like, "Okay, tell me, tell me, right?" But it has to be a persuasive argument. I'm not an idiot, like So
I like your activist impersonation.
I like to hear it. I mean, it's fine. I'm all ears. I talk to people all the time that have strong things to say.
Of course,
there's something very intoxicating about listening to someone passionately share their viewpoint.
100% it is.
That being said, just because it's passion doesn't mean it makes sense. But I'm just simply saying.
No, I know.
I'd listen.
Let there be some passion with some reason as well.
Listen,
that makes a lot more sense. Like again, I feel like when I was articulating my views on like mental health, there's passion. You can totally hear it, but also there was logic and there was some sense in there. I wasn't just talking out of like. Whoop.
Absolutely.
I actually had numbers and facts that you can totally look up. So that's a very different version of being passionate as opposed to I just rah. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but also your approach for dispensing, your view, or not view, sorry, disseminating your view, not dispensing. My apologies. Disseminating your view on the mental health topic was one of here are things that can be done, and maybe we should do some of them, right? Which is not a kind of absolutist approach to things, right? Which is it's nuanced, it's flexible, it's like appreciation for the fact that life's not like that.
Exactly.
But I mean,
okay,
absolutely.
You know what I think it's time for?
I can't imagine. But
oh my god! I think it's time for rapid fire. You're gonna go first because you have many to get through on that page.
All right, I'm gonna got this.
Okay.
So, parrot or cockatoo, I think is a pet not to eat.
Oh my heavens. Parrot. I think they're. Oh no. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a bird person. You?
You know what? I wouldn't want to own either bird. I wouldn't want to eat either of them either.
Where are you going with eating birds? Stop this.
And so
okay, next one. Go ahead.
I would probably go for cockatoo, but I don't really care. What's up?
Go ahead.
Oh, next one? That one doesn't count? All right, church wedding or destination wedding?
Wow.
So I guess that means,
That means I have to believe in marriage?
Whatever
so I have to believe right now in marriage and getting married.
So let's say hypothetically that you wanted to devote yourself monogamously to someone for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Would you choose to celebrate that in a local establishment where everyone's congregating somewhere?
Oh, that sounds expensive, man.
Or would you like to go away on a trip somewhere with a few people, or by yourself?
Probably by myself with the shotgun wedding in Las Vegas. Here I come.
There you go.
Because I'm very cheap.
There you go.
Okay. All right. You?
Ooh. I would say probably destination wedding.
Okay.
Somewhere interesting though.
Like,
so I can make everyone suffer. I'm just joking. It'll be
get married at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Like, don't fit.
We'll go somewhere lame. I'll be like, hey guys, we're going down the street for a destination wedding.
My destination wedding is going to be Hamilton. Okay. Egg rolls or spring rolls?
Spring rolls.
Yeah.
It's got a better rap.
100%. Yeah, I find that egg rolls are doughy.
They are.
Me. Yeah.
They are, yeah.
All about the spring rolls.
Absolutely.
Good. You?
Start rumors or spread gossip.
Oh, Lord. Speaking of that harassment policy I was mentioning and safeguarding mental health, neither.
I agree, neither. In fact, another shameless plug, in my book, I refer to gossip as the junk food of conversation. And so it's fun to snack on every once in a while, but a steady diet it's likely to make you unhealthy.
Wow.
I'm not bad.
Dude, but that's amazing.
You should read my book.
Funny, I'm going to. I have it. Puppies or kittens?
Oh, can I just have all of them?
I know,
and then
right?
swim in a sea of them?
Like Mariah Carey in her trailer. I need to have all the puppies, please.
Yeah, both. The answer's both.
Yeah, answer's both over here. I can't decide. Both.
Soft tacos or crunchy tacos?
Oh, hard tacos, man. Soft burritos.
I could do it.
Boom.
Absolutely, that's right. Hard all the way. Need that crunch. It's so satisfying.
Yeah, that's the whole point of a taco. Like
absolutely.
a soft taco is like eating, I don't know, a unwrapped burrito.
Absolutely.
I don't get it.
I agree with you. I mean, I'll eat both, but
no, I'll eat both as well. But I prefer to have
taco.
like the crunch. I mean, you okay to Taco Bell, man? What's wrong with
Absolutely, you got it.
Okay.
Crushing it.
Sunsets or sunrises? Ooh.
Ooh. I find sunrises to be aesthetically more pleasing. Like the sky is being ignited in a way that's slightly different than when it's setting.
Okay.
They're not that different, but it's a little more different, especially where you are. But you have to be up real early in order to have that happen, and you can do more with the sunset. I think that you're going to be in a place where the sun is setting a little bit more regularly, and you can use it to your advantage, whether it's for romance or whether it's for something like a bonding exercise, whether it's for a nice way to round off the day when you're relaxing. So I would say you can do more. It's more functional.
Yeah, I find that sunsets are a bit more of a romantic theme, but
absolutely.
For a sunrise, it's almost like it's an energizer. So if you're out there like doing like yoga or doing like even like the Kairos blanket exercise is done at sunrise for a reason. It's meant to like energize.
Gotcha.
And then sunsets are a kind of a calming.
Yeah, fair enough. Like a conclusion to the day as opposed to a beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. Like thematically and literally. Yeah, no,
exactly.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So maybe both. Go.
All right, we'll do one more.
How many more left on your sheet?
Yeah, but time. Spicy or mild?
Spicy.
Oh, absolutely spicy.
Okay.
You want me to hit it?
Yeah.
Funnel cake or churros?
Oh, churros.
I like both. I can make good funnel cakes, by the way.
Okay, then make one next time, please.
One.
Yeah, okay.
Last one. Audi or Tesla?
Ooh, Tesla.
I'd be happy to own either. I'm not really a big car
I know.
guy,
I just drive.
Both those are next to
Hi,
my
can you
car.
put Honda Civic as an option, please?
Yeah.
Fine. One more. Fedora or baseball cap?
Oh, so I'm not a big hat wearer, but I do have some stylish hats. I pick up some nice ones, some like newsboy caps. I actually look pretty good in them.
You do. You had one on Friday.
Yeah, and so I'm going to go with fedora because it's more of a stylish hat. I'm not a big baseball hat kind of guy.
See, and it depends on what the function is for
Fair
me.
enough.
So I wore a fedora. I think they're very stylish. But then if I'm going out to a game, I got a baseball hat on.
Yeah, fair
or
enough, yeah.
winter, I'm in a toque. I'm in hats all the time.
It depends, yeah.
I'm a hat person.
Yeah.
See how big my head is? Rapid fire.
All right.
Well, I think that is the conclusion
That is.
of this episode of The Deep Dive. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Hopefully anyone watching this enjoyed their time as much as we enjoyed having you around, and take care of yourselves and one another.
For sure. We'll see you the next time.
Absolutely.